Hello, I'm Philip Stoden. I'm at Apex 2014 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm joined by Gene Weiner of Gene Weiner. Everybody knows Gene Weiner, no further introduction required. Gene.
Good morning, Phil.
Good to see you. You're always a busy man at these events, but what I like is you have a good look around and you see what's going on. What are you seeing in terms of technology? What are they doing that they should be doing? What aren't they doing?
Well, first of all, I noticed a number of companies that had been old standbys are missing, such as the Christopher Group and Maltec. They're no longer here. Secondly, I visited a number of people from China, the US, that are exhibiting here, UK, that have technologies that were introduced 2, 3, 4 years ago that still either haven't made it beyond the alpha or beta stage or gained any traction in the marketplace on imaging, on plating, and so forth. Third, I'm looking for new technologies. One of them is a little premature to show here, and the other showed up as a big surprise on a new additive system, and they presented it at the lunch yesterday at the annual meeting.
Yeah.
And it's a process with a new twist that allows you to do HDI with no etching, very few steps. A company has apparently developed a photoresist with a catalyst in it to initiate electrolysis plating that can be patterned and gives good adhesion and bite to just about every substrate we've seen. And they've been giving demonstrations on a computer and inviting people down to Carlsbad, California to view it. And trying to partner with a number of companies, and they've spoken to Weiner, to Technic and substrate people. And it looks like they have solved the problem that people have been trying to beat since the old days when GE and Lynchburg, Virginia, 40 years ago tried with Irv Ireland and Jerry Lordy.
So let's loop back on some of those technologies, for example, the ones that haven't got past beta. And there are technologies certainly in the bare board market that seem to be constantly bubbling under and not getting to the surface. Additive is maybe one, inkjet is maybe another. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's lack of investment in that market, not enough margin for people to invest in new technology?
A variety of reasons. First, I would say as many of these were underfunded and they underestimated what it takes to build a product that can be shipped reliably around the world and operate 3, 4, 5, 8,000 miles from your factory. Secondly, they didn't listen to the customers who said, yes, we'll try it. They thought they knew better what the customer needed than the customer in the real world wanted to know. Third, they never looked at the footprint in terms of height and width as well as just the footprint. Can you get it into the factory? How much ceiling space do you need? Fourth, what are the local regulations where you'll run? Fifth, you do all this wonderful stuff, but what about the return on investment? Have they written off what they have, and how much of a gain is there, if anything? Fifth, are there anyone else in a not-in-kind technology trying to do the same thing? And should you be collaborating? Seventh, have you partnered with anyone? This is, with the cost of development today, it's almost impossible to do. I'm looking at that new Energyne drilling machine with the wing design. And they exhibited all over Asia, they exhibited all over the world. They're not here today, they have someone smoking around. They've just finished model number 3, fired it up, they're running a few thousand panels a day, and they're still tweaking the assembly. They find that somebody didn't crimp a cable properly. Now we're talking a $300,000-$400,000 machine that's sitting idle because the cable wasn't crimped.
And so it's kind of a lack of control, isn't it? It's kind of almost entrepreneurial, but without the manufacturing detail, without the business process.
Without the management experience of what it takes to go to market in terms of time, money, without listening to customers, without the partnering. The other thing we did was this morning was the first face-to-face meeting of the new Ambassador Council of the IPC. A number of the Hall of Fame people are not really the retiring type.
No.
Yours truly. Dan Feinberg. Our latest edition yesterday, Mike Carano, Jack Fisher, Dieter Bergman, Bernie Kessler came in.
I saw Dieter yesterday.
And we had a first meeting because we believe that we can offer advice based on our experience and on our connections. that can help the IPC and their members.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the big tasks is being headed up by Denny Fritz, who works for our government on the counterfeiting components thing, and he's having a buzz session at 3:30 this afternoon.
Right.
But we, with the Ambassadors Council, are going to provide information to all members as to what to look out for. And then the topic broadened into just not components, but materials. Bob Nevis is here from China. He's an ambassador. He said they're getting counterfeit laminate, counterfeit solder mask.
Wow.
And then we got into the substandard thing. And a lot of this counterfeit stuff's coming from Russia. It's not all from China. And it only has to be 3 to 5% that's not caught to really wreck the system.
Cause a problem,
there's just so much going on at this show.
Well, I like what you're doing with the ambassadors thing, because I look at those names you mentioned, and it is pretty much it's a Hall of Fame. But most of those guys were in this industry before there was this industry. So it's kind of you've seen it all before. You've seen the process. You've seen what it takes to bring a disruptive technology to market. You've seen everything move east. You've seen stuff move back. You've seen
south to Mexico. Guadalajara's busy again.
Yeah, but you've seen countries come. You've seen countries go. You've seen market shift, and if you look at you all individually, you've marketed products in those countries. You've developed products. It's a pretty exciting opportunity for someone with something new to access that. If there's an IPC member that has got something new and doesn't have that wherewithal, how do they access the ambassadors?
Well, what we're trying to do is to put out a program and make it accessible to all IPC members that are interested. We had a first news release this past weekend, which was published, I believe your publication picked it up too. And we are having bi-weekly, or bi-monthly, twice a month, telephone conferences on the topics. We're going to show what we think we could bring. We're planning in the fall a forum where people could come and ask questions, whether it's marketing or technology or counterfeiting or joint venture, economics, and offer this. We're not demanding anyone accept it, but we'll answer the questions relating to our experience. And it'll be a roundtable forum type, because we have technical people there, government people, specification, materials. So we've been working on this. The idea was originally John Mitchell was the new president of IPC. We had a dinner meeting shortly after he became president in Chicago. Bob Swiggett came in out of retirement, age 90, to join the meeting, many of us. And it was a wonderful meeting, and the concept was born. It was battered about by the board of directors, and it was tasked to Sanjay Puprakar, who's the vice president of member success. Dieter Bergman is our guide and chairman.
Nice to see Dieter around.
And we're moving along. And it will benefit all IPC members and anyone that deals with the IPC. We hope.
I think it's great. I think it's great. Last question. We're all getting a little bit older. We're all getting a little bit grayer. We're still working. And you guys, particularly in the Hall of Fame and those ambassadors, why are there no kids snapping at our heels trying to take our jobs?
The industry we're in is not very attractive, but I'll give you an example. My son looked at it, and when he went to engineering school, and my grandson. And my son looked at that and said, that printed circuit business is going nowhere. Unless you're Chinese and make 1 million boards, or you're looking at packaging, with Amcor or Intel or someone like that, and you look at 2.5D or 3D packaging, why bother? So my son says, I'm going in the software side. I'm going to double E. And he's now program manager of Analog Devices, a senior program manager. My grandson looked at it, and he said, this is for the birds. I'm going to be an astrophysicist. And he just got accepted at Rensselaer Polytech.
Wow, that's fantastic.
In that program.
Okay.
That it's mutual. It's what is the attraction? And the guys like us, I ran into several today, they're working for Chinese companies in China. They're here for the show.
What can you do? Gene, pleasure to chat to you. Always
good to see you again.
Let's talk again
soon. See you next show.
Thank you.
Thank you.